Guys, welcome. This is my DVD collection and Blu-ray. This is only my personal collection that I actually own myself because we have in this house um, films that we all have, if you know what I mean. Like Seven's not here because I'm personally going to get that on Blu-ray, but we have it all on DVD for everyone, if you know what I mean. So these are just the ones that I've either bought or got for Christmas or birthdays or bought myself, whatever. Um, I apologise if you hear a big bang. I think they may fall over because there's quite a lot. Uh, so I'll start with the Blu-rays. The first one is the first one that I ever bought, and that was The Dark Knight. I found out that this is supposed to have a slipcover with it, but I bought it on Amazon and it didn't come with a slipcover. But it is the 2-disc edition, and I've checked the picture quality on it. It's really impressive. As always, I mean, as you know, the Dark Knight trilogy is my favourite series of films, and this is. I saw this one first. I didn't see Batman Begins. I watched this, then watched Batman Begins, and then Dark Knight Rises, and I thought it's just incredible how well it's been done. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen this film or parts of it at the very least. I should hope so anyway. So yeah, that's the first Blu-ray. The next Blu-ray is In Bruges, which this is. I bought this on my birthday. I usually wouldn't pay $8.99 for just one Blu-ray because I think that's a bit steep. Because I get mine mostly from Amazon, but this was in HMV, and it was because it's the limited edition artwork, the Universal 100th Anniversary Edition, which it comes with these cards that are double-sided. I just thought that this was something that I couldn't pass up to buy, and also it's a great film as well. I watched it at a friend's, and I just thought it was such a surprising film, and I love when you can watch a film and you're genuinely surprised by it. And In Bruges is definitely one of those films that I think it is very crude, it is very dark, and the humour's not for everyone, but as a film, the acting's pretty top notch. The director is the one who did Seven Psychopaths as well. I've seen that. I'm currently waiting for that to come from Amazon. And yeah, I think this is such a good film, and I'm really glad. It's one of my favourite films now, and I think the picture quality again, if for Blu-ray collectors, it's pretty good. In fact, I'd say it's really good, and there's quite a few special features that it doesn't say on the back. I've actually checked out, and it does have special features. So yeah, that's In Bruges. The next one is The Cabin in the Woods. I've shown this before. Not going to go into detail with it because I've talked about it enough before. But yeah, it's a really good film. I know it's not for everyone, but I think it's brilliant. Picture quality again, pretty good. Special features, there's quite a few. And yeah, I mean, I've never talked about it, but I really like the cover. I think it's really it suits the film very well, and yeah, I think it's a bit. I can understand why some people don't like it because of the ending and the storyline's a bit outgoing, but at the end of the day, it's a different horror film rather than all the Paranormal Activity clones these days, and I thought it was a fresh breath into the heart of the genre. The next one is Burke and Hare, which I have watched this. It's not my favourite Simon Pegg film. In fact, I'd say it's average. The picture quality is pretty good. The film it was light-hearted but dark in places, and I don't know. I just don't think the comedy ever lifted off much. There were a few bits in it that made me laugh a little, but nothing really made me laughing and getting tears in my eyes like some films I've watched. I think all the three main characters on the front, they're pretty good. Their acting's pretty good, but I just think this would be better if Nick Frost were in it, because Simon Pegg and Nick Frost have such a good on-screen chemistry, and um, I don't know. I think it's a okay film. I wouldn't say check it out because I don't know if you'd like it or not. I mean, give it a go if you can find it cheap, but I won't pay a lot for it. The next Blu-ray is another surprising one, and that is Buried. This I heard was better than 127 Hours. In my opinion, I don't think that is the case. I do think it's a really, really good film. I heard it was boring and it was overrated, but I watched it. I thought it was really, really good, and um, I like how it makes you feel all claustrophobic because the whole film is in the box, and the way they filmed it, it's just so good. I think it's a very unique film. Yeah, it's kind of like 127 Hours in the way that it's a guy who's trapped and he can't get out or whatever, but it's different to 127 Hours in its storyline and in its methods of how it makes you feel like the main character. Ryan Reynolds delivers a cracking performance as well. Um, yeah, genuinely loved this film, sorry, and I will watch this again. The ending shocked me as well. I wasn't expecting that. I was all happy, and then like that, it was just really shocking for me. And yeah, so that's Buried. I definitely recommend this if you haven't seen it. The next Blu-ray is another one I've talked about before, and it is Bronson. Bronson is a film by Nicholas Winding Refn, which I liked. I like Drive, and I like Only God Forgives. So I watched this, and I really do like this film. It's dark. It's really, really, really dark. In fact, and it's like a Clockwork Orange in the fact that it makes you feel really unclean inside. I do think the front, it says a Clockwork Orange for the 21st century. I do agree with that because I think it's a lot like it but different in its own way. Tom Hardy, fantastic performance. I think he um, excels in this film. Yeah, it's really, really gruesome in some parts, even when there's not a lot of blood or all like that. It's just the fact that it's a true story on this guy existed. It gives you chills. I think it gives me him anyway. Um, the picture quality on this, I don't know if it's meant to be like that or if it's just the disc in itself was quite grainy. Um, it in some places it was grainy, but in other places it was pretty much perfect, which I didn't understand why that was. I think it might be supposed to be like that, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, Bronson, great film. Check it out, but not if you're faint-hearted because it is pretty dark and grim. The next Blu-ray is Inception, which I'm really glad. This was a surprise because I got it from Amazon again, pre-owned. I didn't know if it were going to be. I didn't expect it to come with this slipcover, which is the 3D one. I don't know if you can see that. And it comes with, it's the DVD, UV and Blu-ray combo. And it's in fantastic condition, I will say that. This is possibly my favourite Blu-ray cover. Purely because I just love that 3D effect on it. And this is one of my favourite films of all time. I cannot wait to get into the special features because I still haven't watched them. I haven't watched the Blu-ray actually yet, but I have checked out the picture quality and I think it's really good. It's pretty good. Yeah, this film is absolutely amazing. If anyone's watching who hasn't seen it, please go check it out. It is absolutely brilliant. Next film is one that I got recently, and it is Limitless, another 3D slipcover. I got this from CEX for $4.50, I think it was, which it had this and one behind it, what was just the without the slipcover, and it was the same price for both, so I thought I'd pick this up. A little bit scratched, but you can't really see it unless you look really close. I checked this film out because I'd seen it at school once, and I wanted to watch it in full effect. I've checked it out on the Blu-ray. I watched it like last week or sometime like that, and it is a really good film. I like the storyline a lot. I think Bradley Cooper is pretty good, and I just like the story, as I've just said. I think it's a really interesting story that they put into it, and it's really well done. Not the best film I've ever seen, but it is really, really good, and I'd probably put it in my top 50 at least. The next Blu-ray is one of my favourite comedies. It's Pineapple Express. I seen this on DVD. I haven't watched it on Blu-ray yet. It's got a lot of special features. Like, it's got absolutely loads on it. The pitch quality I've checked out. I think it's pretty good. This is a Judd Apatow film. I think he produced it. He didn't direct it. This is probably my second favourite, maybe my favourite, I don't know, out of his films. I like James Franco's character in this. I think he's just hilarious, and Seth Rogen, as always, I don't think he can do a unfunny film. Besides, well, I haven't seen all of them, but I think he's just a natural gifted talent in the comedy genre. Yeah, I'd say check it out because it is pretty funny. I don't want to overhype it because I know everyone has different opinions on humour, but personally this is one of the funniest films I've seen, in my opinion. I think this is it the DVD and Blu-ray? No, I think it's just the special features. But yeah, one of my favourite films. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Another film that I got at CAX for £4, and it's Scott Pilgrim. I was going to originally get this on Steelbook, but I couldn't wait to see it. I mean, I want to watch it. I'm probably going to watch it over the holidays that are up in the school now. Really heard good things about this, and I think it's a very video game based with a lot of references that gamers will get. I'm an avid gamer myself, so I'm probably going to enjoy this a lot. And it's Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright is just amazing director. Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and The World's End, all phenomenal films, and hopefully this is as good as them. The next film is The Social Network. This is a film that, again, I haven't seen, but I've heard it is really, really good. It's David Fincher, who is one of my favourite directors. I'm interested to see it because a friend of mine put it as one of their films that they wasn't expecting to love, but they did, I think, and I feel the same way. He said he thought it was going to be boring because it's about Facebook. I'm feeling like that now, but I'm really intrigued to see it because it's got 5 stars all over the front cover, and yeah, I mean, if it's got that many good ratings, it's bound to be good. I hope it's not overrated like some films I've seen. But yeah, really looking forward to checking this out, and it's got a lot of special features again. Yeah. And the final Blu-ray I have is The Shining. The Shining is a film I've watched, and I understand why it's a classic. I mean, I thought it was going to be a bit average because Stephen King didn't like the film himself, and he was the one who wrote the book, which it's based off of. I think it's very strange, but in a good way. And you can see that it's inspired a lot of horror films to this day. And I did really enjoy it. I think it's a cracking performance by Jack Nicholson, and it's quite dark in some places as well. This comes with the UV, which I don't use UV, so I'm thinking about doing a competition to give this away, and the Dark Knight Rises one, because I got that on the DVD. So, but that's just maybe. I mean, I do want to do a competition just because I see it as a waste to waste it. So if anyone's interested in that, I'll probably do a competition if you want. But so that's the last Blu-ray. I also have Seven Psychopaths and The Departed to come from Amazon, so that'll wrap my Blu-rays up and then see what others I can get. I'm probably going to do this in more than 1 or 2 parts because YouTube don't let me upload videos that are longer than 20 odd minutes or so. So I'll do a few more DVDs and then I will stop the video and then do another, probably upload this one, then do another one and see how it goes then. So yeah, you can probably see these, I'm not sure if you can. The first DVD, I'm going to do them all together because they're kind of related. The first 3 are, these are Russell Howard Live, The Dingle Dodies, I think that's pronounced. The Russell Howard Live and Russell Howard Right Here Right Now. All of these are really, really funny. I personally think that this one's my favourite one. Then Dingle Dodies, and then the first one, because I don't know, I just think he gets better as he goes along, and I think because this is the newest one out of the 3, I think that is why it's my favourite. And I bought these because after I went to see him, I just wanted to watch him again, because I think he's just hilarious. He's probably the best comedian around at this moment in time, and he's just only going to get better from, you can see that in the first one of these, he's a bit shyer than he is normally on this one, and yeah, so that's the Russell Howards. Next is Shallow Hal. This is a film that I grew up watching, and I loved it as a kid. So I got it, and it's directed by the Farrelly brothers, Bobby Farrelly and Peter Farrelly, and watching it to this day, I do like it. I don't think it's as good as I thought it was. It's not the best film, it's not anything special or unique. I just like it because I think it's nostalgia, and yeah, I mean, I can't really suggest it. I mean, if you've seen it, you'll know what I mean by it's stupid and quite cheesy because it's a love story, but I don't know, the nostalgia is what I like about it, and yeah, I mean, not much more I can say about it. Next is Smoking Aces. Haven't seen this yet, I got it for Christmas. I'm probably going to watch it again in this holiday. A lot of good actors in this, and I'm really looking forward to checking it out. It does look pretty good. I've heard really good reviews, and yeah, I don't know what else I can say about this. Yeah, so that's Smoking Aces. Next is Snatch. Snatch is a film that I can't believe it's taken so long for me to watch it, and I have watched it, and it is absolutely amazing. It's funny, it's entertaining, it's got action, and every character is, well, most characters are really good. I think Brad Pitt is really good in this film, along with Jason Statham. I think them two are my favourite characters in it. I think I think it was done in 1990 something. I'll have a look. Well, it says 2000. I don't know if that is true. I don't know if that's right even. It says 2000, so it's earlier than I was expecting. But I hear it's a classic all the time. I hadn't seen it. I've watched it and I can understand why it's a classic. It is one of my favourite films. top 20 at the very least. And seriously, if you haven't seen it, check it out. I'm sure you have seen it though, because I don't know what I was doing when I haven't watched it. But yeah, it's really, really good. I'm probably going to get it on Blu-ray at some point. Next is the South Park Bigger, Longer and Uncut. This is... It's South Park, what more can I say? It's hilarious, it is offensive, it's rude, it's just absolutely a brilliant, brilliant film, and I just love it. I think that this is South Park at its best. It's... The storyline is... I mean, you don't really care for a storyline much in films like this because it's the humour, and the humour goes along with the storyline, and I think there's just some really, really great scenes in this. I mean, the songs are absolutely laughable, they're that funny. The scene with the devil and Saddam Hussein just absolutely gets me every time. I think it's absolutely hilarious. It's offensive as well, but at the end of the day, I love South Park, and anyone who loves South Park should check this film out if they haven't seen it already. Yeah, absolutely a brilliant film. The next film or films is the Stanley Kubrick collection, which has Full Metal Jacket, which I haven't watched and I've heard it's really, really good. 2001: A Space Odyssey, again haven't watched, but I've heard it's brilliant and probably one of the best sci-fi films of this century, if I'm thinking right. The Shining, which I've got on Blu-ray, but it comes with a collection, so it's just nice to have it there. And A Clockwork Orange, which I've watched, and it just made me feel absolutely horrible inside because it's so good but so dark at the same time. I love this film. I can understand why people say it's really good. I don't think it would get banned if it was released in this day and age, because I've seen a lot worse things on films these days. But yeah, it is pretty dark. But yeah, A Clockwork Orange and The Shining I definitely recommend you check out because I think they're really, really good. Stanley Kubrick, that's 2 out of 2 films I've seen of his, so he's obviously doing something well. I'll do a couple more before I end the video and then do a part 2. The next film is Superbad. This is a film that I'd say it's our generation, or well, not our generation, but it's this decade, because it came out in 2007, it's this decade's American Pie kind of thing. It's Judd Apatow, this produced by him rather than directed. Seth Green, not Seth Green, that's wrong. Seth Rogen and Jonah Hill, that's what I was thinking. I don't think I've watched a film of theirs that I haven't liked so far. It's same with Judd Apatow. I mean, the one I'd say I liked the least, I'd probably say Knocked Up, but I can't remember it really, so I'm gonna just say that for now. I like this film. I think it's really good. I think it's funny. It's typical teen humour, like American Pie starts. I mean, American Pie started this kind of film. I mean, I know there were some films before it, but I think American Pie is the one that really lifted off this type of film, and I think it's just enjoyable, and it makes me laugh, and I could watch it again. I could actually watch it right now, so yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to upgrade to Blu-ray on this one because it's a good film, but it's not one that I'm dying to have on Blu-ray. But if I can find it cheap, I will do. I kind of prefer the Blu-ray cover. I think it's the Blu-ray cover where it's McLovin's ID, fake ID, which again, McLovin in this film is absolutely funny. I think he this is the film that started Christopher Mintz-Plase's career, in my opinion. Next is Underworld. I don't have the other ones, my sister has the other ones. I've only seen 1 and 2. I think this one's really good. I don't know if, I think I'd personally prefer the second one to this one, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I like the cover for this, it's very shiny, that's the only word I can think of it. But it's vampires and werewolves, which it's been done to shreds these days, vampires and werewolves and all that, but this came out I don't think it says. No, it don't say, but I think it was early 2000s, late 90s or sometime. I think it's a very, very good film. I like the style of it. It's very, very dark. If you look at the cover, that's kind of best to describe the film and the style of it. Reminds me a bit of Van Helsing, which is a good thing for me because I like Van Helsing a lot. But I can understand some people may not like it because this is the type of genre that I think you have to put your mind into because it's a very long film. I think it's just short of 2 hours. And if you don't like this kind of film, that could seem a long, long time. But I like it a lot, and I like the second one. Kind of wary about the newest one because I've heard it's absolutely terrible. But I'll give it a go, and if I don't like it, then I just won't buy it. I'll do 2 more. Next is Vacancy. I watched this not that long ago. I don't know what to think about it. It's a okay film. Nothing rememberable. Nothing original either. It's been done before. I just think I like Kate Beckinsale in this because, I mean, just look. But I mean, it's a decent horror film. I wouldn't say go out of your way to watch it. If you can find it on the movie channels or if it's on Netflix at any point, check it out. But that's the best I could give it. I'm not going to get this on Blu-ray either. I think it's a DVD only kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, I can understand why a lot of people wouldn't like it. I think I'm being generous with it when I say it's an okay film. And next is the Rec trilogy, which is Rec, Rec 2 and Rec Genesis. I personally think Rec and Rec 2 are 2 of the best horror films I've seen. Rec Genesis kind of throws everything the other 2 were away and just is something else entirely. It throws away the found footage style and is more of a slasher horror film. But I mean, you watch it for the kills because some of the kills are pretty impressive, and it's not a terrible film. It's just I wouldn't call it a Rec film because it's got nothing to do with the other 2 besides it's a zombie film. But the other 2 are really, really good, and if you don't like watching films with subtitles, I would suggest give this a go because it does have subtitles. It's Spanish, but check it out. I like the first 2 a lot, and personally, it's some of my favourite horror films, as I've said. So yeah, that's Rec. Yeah, so I'm gonna pause the video now and do a part 2. Pretty much after this one gets uploaded. So I'll see you then.